Well, we have seen that in contemporary society we have several problems, social problems like poverty, that's very importantly connected with unemployment, but now is the moment to start thinking what we can do to confront this situation. Leonardo Boff, I love this author from Brazil, he says that this is a critic times, but these are times for creativity. We keep on dreaming because the dreams give us the energy to fight for these visions to create a better society. So what we are seeing is that we cannot just let the markets to rule the societies. It's very important the civil society to recover its protagonist role to assure we are building inclusive societies. It's very important that the states recover its protagonism. We cannot let our societies on the hands of the markets. So, social entrepreneurship, active citizenship, and to recover the welfare society, the common good culture, it's very important for our well-being and the integration in our societies. So, what are social entrepreneurs? Social entrepreneurs are people who are looking for innovative solutions to these social, health, ecological problems that today we are confronting. It's very important to be able to see farther than today. I love this painting from Magritte. He's not just seeing the egg, he already sees the bird. Today, society, we see it. We must see from a critical perspective to really understand what's going on, what's our problems, what we must be able to imagine a different society, inclusive society. And then we need to do a plan, a strategy, how to move from what we have today to this vision we are developing. So we must be clear that the same system of thought who is creating a problem cannot solve it. Einstein said to that. Or, as Bohm says, the problem is that we are repetitive when we need to be creative. So if we are applying the same solutions that have shown no positive effects, we are not going to solve the problems. So sometimes it's about to think out of the box. And social entrepreneurship is to think out of the box, really. So what we are looking for when we are thinking about social entrepreneurship, what we want is to maximize the social benefits. We are prosecuting social benefit, a social impact that's really big one, because we want to create better societies for people. And we'll see that for sure the partnership, the art of partnership, is a key aspect on this art. So we are looking for the independence of the persons. Everybody can have its own life project, but it means that it has, for example, a meaningful job that affords him to have his life he is willing to live. So it's about empowerment of the citizens. It's about the empowerment of the communities. When we are talking about social entrepreneurship, the gestion also must be transparent. We cannot have money in offshore islands, we can have no money in Panama or in Andorra. This is very important. This is the transparency in the management of the social entrepreneurships. But this is a very important point. We want to have a big social impact. We want to create jobs meaningful for the persons. But we need to make it in a sustainable manner. If I have a social enterprise, at the end of the month, I need enough money to pay all the salaries of my workers. So it means we must prosecute the financial sustainability. So we can look for public support, private support, but also it's extremely important how we can generate our own financial sustainability. So we'll give you one short example of one social entrepreneurship project. It's not a social enterprise, but it was thinking about innovative solution to one contemporary problem. In Spain, the percentage of unemployed people when you have a mental health condition is 90%. So really this is a huge problem. So what we decide is to create a project working together with the students, university students, with clients from the Mental Health Foundation to start working and to create a garden together. So in this manner, we can transfer professional skills working as gardeners, these skills to the gardeners, and we start a process to look for a job for them at the same time that our students were earning competence on how to become good therapists. Because of course, it's not the same to be in the class talking about somebody who has a mental health condition, because then I realized that my students only catch diagnosis of the bipolar disorder, schizophrenic. No, I needed them to see persons. And this is not possible in the classes. So we look for an innovative solution. We create a new class space, the garden, and a new class methodology, service learning, where the students together with the clients are working. And then my students understand that the mental health is just one part of the person, but it's not the full person. Because sometimes we are converting diagnoses into complete human beings, and we can never do this. We always need to see the capabilities, the potentials of the persons. And it was amazing how we were able to change a space of the university, a space that was really sorry, in a very bad conditions. We converted into a beautiful garden. We spent 18 months working in the creation and the construction of this garden, and so many of the skills that we need to be social entrepreneurs, we were working on these skills. For example, the art of partnership. If finally we achieved to create this beautiful garden, is because we achieved a strong alliance, a strong partnership between the civil sector, the private sector, and the civil society, but also the public and the private sectors. So it was a strong partnership working together that, putting all these efforts together, we were able to convert into a reality that was started just being a dream. Because as Helder Kammerer says, when one has a dream, it's just a vision. But when two or more share a dream, is the starting point of a new reality. And this garden was our reality 18 months later. So it was a different way to think about education. Why we don't put the students together working with the clients? It was a different way to think where the classes are going on. We abandon the classes that are artificial, are theoretical, and we move into the community to start building this garden. And it was really a win-win situation. My students were earning real competences, client-centered practice, how to work with people, how to develop projects, but also the gardeners were recovering the role of citizens, because the garden is for all the community. They were recovering the role of somebody who is giving to the community, but at the same time they were earning competences, and some of them had jumped into the formal job market of gardeners. At the same time, it was a big impact for the community, because now we have a wonderful new garden that's open for all the community of Vic. One important thing in projects that I welcome you and is that the internationalization of the projects. We're always working to build stronger partnerships. For example, we were taking part of different European projects like the project Competence for Poverty Reduction, or empowering learning and social inclusion through occupation. So it put us in contact with people from 12 different European countries. We learned a lot from each other. So it was very important. And for example, in this project, it's amazing what's going on. When you start the project, I could never imagine that 2 years later, 2 of my gardeners and 1 student went to a European Congress in Coruña, and they were seated there as experts discussing with professors from Karolinska Institute, as you see in the photo, or from Sheffield Hallam University in UK. So when we start a project, we believe on the potentials of persons, on the capabilities, and we empower them. We can really not imagine what's going on later. The results sometimes are just amazing, like in this. Of course, one important thing is we need to educate the societies. We need to educate the societies to understand the capabilities, the potentials of the communities, of the persons. And so it's very important to combat the stigma, because our society is very based on a strong stigma. And we have a lot of prejudices. So for example, we organize exhibitions in Vic, in La Coruña, in Amsterdam. We were working also about in mass media, we were working about in social networks, in Facebook and blogs, in the web, just to educate the people. So one project that started being a more social entrepreneurship project, but not a social entrepreneur enterprise itself, became a social enterprise, because from this project we started a new one. We created a social enterprise who is based on reforesting natural spaces. We are working with people under exclusion, because they are migrants, they have no good training, whatever, and we are recovering natural spaces in Osona province. For example, we have been working in the Montseny Natural Park, recovering it. So it's very nice, because with one project we are dealing with one social problem: poverty, unemployment, exclusion of mental health survivors, migrants, people living under poverty, but at the same time we are dealing with huge ecological questions, like the maintenance and the recuperation of the national parks in our province. So this is one interesting example of social entrepreneurship too. So now we'll move on to see some of the good practices that we have identified in Spain in relationship with social entrepreneurship. Thank you.